I hope everyone is doing great today. Welcome to my channel. Let's talk about it. So the Jacob Blake story and the incident that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin back on Sunday, August 23rd is very controversial and just a lot of questions about race relations in America. This is not unheard of. It's just the latest that we've seen in August of 2020, right? So previously we had George Floyd and numbers of other black Americans that have been shot down by some police officers. So the thing with Blake, he didn't die, so which was definitely shocking to most of us. He was hit 4 out of the 7 shots by veteran officer Rustin Shesky. Wow. You know, the guy follows him to his gray SUV and just starts shooting him point blank range. So to give you guys a little bit of background of what happened even before the shooting, the police were called out to the residence because there was a cookout happening and there was a fight with Blake's family members, and Jacob was stopping the fight. So when officers came there, they go after him. They are tussling, wrestling on the floor, and actually Blake was tased twice and to no effect. That's what the police are saying. So he gets up, he's walking to his vehicle. You know, again, we don't know what happened really after. We just know he was shot. You know, he was shot a few times in his back. It was, I don't think that should have been. You know, if you feel he's gonna get something, back up. Back up. You didn't try to restrain him, or you try to get him then and there. You don't let him just walk to the car and then you wait till he opens the car door and then start shooting him in his back. Luckily, he didn't die. He's currently in the hospital recovering from his injuries, and he is paralyzed from the waist down. And there's a witness, there was a woman screaming out loud over and over saying, "Don't you do it, don't you do it." She was telling that to police, kind of just saying, "Hey, we're watching you and don't you dare shoot this man." And I sometimes I just don't understand. And again, I know there's good police out there. We know them. I know there's good police out there, but the bad ones are, I don't know. Are they race soldiers? Are they out to say, you know what, we're scared of black Americans, we're going to shoot them down because we're afraid? I just don't get it. If you are afraid, don't sign up for this job, right? And if you are afraid, you guys have the backup, right? If you're going against one person and you all jumping on that person, whatever, arrest them. You don't need to shoot the man down. They saying that he had a knife, but it wasn't on camera, but the files and reports are saying he had a knife. Come on. There was no knife being branded that he was out to stab and cut you. Just arrest that man. You tased him, put him in handcuffs if you felt threatened. Don't let him walk to a car where you don't know what can happen next. So I'm tired of hearing that these officers need more training. You don't need training where it comes to race. It's either you have hatred towards another race, or you're afraid of another race, or you know what I mean. You can't teach that. That's in your heart. I've said this in previous videos, and again, I'll continue to say there are officers out there that are hella good. They're incredible. They took the oath, the vow to protect and serve. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the cool officers. I'm not cool with the quote-unquote bad apples and then the good officers that are not speaking out about the bad officers. Why aren't they speaking out? But I get it. It's a religion. It's a fraternity. And it's a lot of corruption involved. And whoever speaks out, they will be handled accordingly. There's consequences to that. And you don't want to be that officer to speak out. And I understand that. So they're saying, so he gets shot. Then they run Jacob's, you know, I guess ID or whatever, his name or whatever, and it said that he has a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault. It's like it's like I've noticed that in the media, especially on right-wing TV, they'll say he'll get shot and luckily he didn't die, but if he died, it was like, well, he was a bad guy, he was a drug dealer, he was on drugs. They always find a way to make that person look like they were just a terrible person, a criminal, regardless of whatever it was. Let's just say he was wanted for sexual assault. That gives no police officer any reason to shoot that man in his back 7 times. Because I'm hearing 4 times, 7 times. It's just more than enough. He shouldn't have got shot at all, you know. So I'm just tired of hearing that. I'm just tired of hearing that. You know, it's almost like saying, but they're not saying he deserved to get shot. He deserved to die because he was he raped a woman. Number one, let's just say the sexual assault warrant was valid. It's called a charge. Doesn't mean you're guilty. So if he was there was a warrant for his arrest, that doesn't mean he committed the sexual assault. That means he's charged, and you go to trial and let the jury of his quote unquote his peers, let them decide that. Police officers, cops, they cannot be the judge, the jury, the executioner. They can't, you know, put it all in, you know, take it out in their hands and say, we're going to get justice for people, meaning by killing and shooting in black men. You can't do that. It's just, and I'm tired of it's unconstitutional. A lot of people don't believe in the Constitution, guys, if you did not know. There are some white officers that they spit on the Constitution. The Constitution is like, it goes against them. They're like, no, I don't believe in this. I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. And that's the problem. And with this guy Rustin, for him to walk behind Blake and then he just starts shooting him in his back, it's like, I think it was shocking to the other officers, like, come on, brother, what the hell are you doing? And it's that anger. Forget being scared. If you were so scared you wouldn't have followed him to that damn car, you would have backed the hell up. So you meant to follow him to that car, and you were meant to put harm on that brother because you were upset that he even wrestled with the police, maybe wrestled with him. And they hate to get the short end of the stick of a tussle, of a fight. So now you letting your emotions get the best of you and not following the law, right? So now Jacob Blake's attorney has come out to say, you know what, that warrant for his arrest for sexual assault, that has been vacated. So that's null. So again, he is not even charged with sexual assault. That's just, who knows what that was all about. So now Jacob is in the hospital, and he was shackled down with his legs to the bed as like a prisoner, as this suspect or whatever the case may be, but he was almost dead. Now he's paralyzed from the waist down, and you're gonna put cuffs on his legs and things to get away. He can't even move, people. He cannot move. So it was just disturbing. When I first seen the story, I didn't really know what to think. I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. I was just happy this man has survived this. And you don't hear too much going on in Wisconsin, especially like this, you know, police shootings, things like that, but likely it's been probably happening in the past, but now we're having it on camera. You know, salute to whoever shot that video. Salute to that person, man or woman. So right now he's recovering in the hospital. Hopefully he does recover and he can walk again. I'm just a little bit bothered by you know, Benjamin Crump, you know, which a lot of people call an ambulance chaser. I get it. Black people need that lawyer that's going to stand up for them and try to get justice and a settlement. I understand that, because there are a lot of black lawyers that are actually afraid to jump on these cases because they don't want some type of white supremacist or somebody that wants to do harm to them, you know, to go after them. So they're afraid for themselves and their family and things like that. So I get it. So Benjamin Crump is somebody that is not afraid of that type of tension, right? But my thing is that he's coaching family members to go on camera to the public and keep up. I'm so sorry. I accept your apology and please, no violence. I just, listen, they try to find that one person in the family that's going to be all we shall overcome. You know what I mean? Because their family members, sisters and father, you know, they're riders. They're going to say, hey, listen, this is unjust. This is illegal. This is not cool. This is racist. We have no justice, no peace, things like that. I could respect that part of people upset, right? Again, with the looting on, I never been for that, because that's not doing anything to stop racism and white supremacy. That's not going to stop that. So I don't agree with breaking into stores like, oh, I'm going to steal sneakers that's a little extra. That's the toppings on a protest, right? But so what Benjamin Crump does for a dollar bill, he coaches the weakest link in the family, and the weakest link, unfortunately, was the mother. So she comes out and says, people, Jacob Blake, he wouldn't want this. He wouldn't want it. How the hell you know what he would have wanted? You don't know what he would have wanted. You know what I mean? Again, looting and things, I'm not for all that, right? So he goes after the weakest link in the family, and he coaches them what to say, because that's the only way they're going to settle. White people are just not going to settle if you're like, well, I'm going to revenge and eye for an eye. They're not trying to cut the check. They're not going to cut the check. The police department is not trying to cut it. The city, the state, they ain't trying to do that. But if you go out there and you say, we forgive you, then money will get cut, right? So Benjamin Crump need to go sit down somewhere and stop doing that, man. It's just like, come on, brother. So, but the story gets more twisted and crazy and violent. So 17-year-old Kyle, was it Rittenhouse? He is a militia with an AR-15 that he was brandishing. He was actually on TV, just, with his AR-15, with his gloves, his blue gloves, just talking to the media, saying, hey, we're out here, we're trying to protect the businesses and property, things like that. And I'm like, boy, you 17 years old, what the hell you doing out there? You know what I mean? I don't care what your age is. You are not police. What are you doing with an AR-15 thinking that you are, handling violence and protesters and protecting people and things like that? So they chased him down. Those protesters, a lot of them were actually white guys. They chased him down. They tried to take his gun, his AR-15, and one person tried to hit him with the skateboard, hit it down with the skateboard, and he falls down. Kyle falls down, and then he shoots 3 people while killing 2 of them. And the 2 people that he did shoot and kill, they were white actually. So, it's just to tell you that it don't matter what color you are. If you're white and you are protesting with black, with the black race, you are considered black at that moment, because you're going against them. You're going against the people that might hate that black person. So, that was just crazy. And again, and this happened on Tuesday, right? This happened on Tuesday on August 25th. So watching on TV, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, is this unreal? And I've never protested. I've never really been too big on protesting. I don't feel protesting does a lot to change, again, not just change laws, change the heart of somebody. You can change the laws all you want, but if you're a racist and you want to kill black people, you don't care about no damn law. You're like, you know what? This is my country. I'm going to shoot you. Whatever law it is, we're going to go around the law. You see what Donald Trump does. You can break the law, get convicted, and you get pardoned, right? So with Rittenhouse, on like Fox News and stations like that, he was actually celebrated, right? They were happy that he shot and killed people. They were saying like he was like some, just like a vigilante, like I'm here to save the country, save the state, save the property. And all these properties, guys, these businesses have insurance. You know what I mean? It's not worth a 17-year-old or whatever age you are to go out with some AR-15 thinking you're protecting the property, and even the business owners are not even protecting. Who the hell are you kidding, right? So they were excited that he shot and killed these men. These white men at that. So right now he is charged with intentional and reckless homicide. And right now his lawyers, he's represented by a public defender. They are claiming self-defense. Self-defense, my ass. What are you doing with an AR-15 in a protest, in a crowd? You stand out like a sore thumb. And you wanted trouble, you wanted problems, because you even said on TV, like, hey, I'm here to protect. You're not police, brother. And this is the same guy that was at a Trump rally, and they showed him on TV at a Trump rally, and we know how those rallies can be. They're just a lot of suspected white supremacists are in the crowd, in the audience, acting a damn fool, and he was actually one of them. So it doesn't shock me to see that. So I hope there's justice for the shootings of those 3 and the 2 that were murdered by Rittenhouse. And I hope that they throw the book at this young man. I don't care what anyone says. He's just a kid. Yeah, he was just a kid with that AR-15. He was ready for war, and he would have killed more if he could. And you see how when he shot them and he got up and just turned around and walked, it looked like a movie. And so now he going down, and then, you know, police ain't doing nothing to him. If he was a black man, they would have shot him dead with an AR-15. And they did nothing. It reminded me of the whole Dylan Roof thing. It's like they barely wanted to arrest him, took him to Burger King for some food and all that. With this guy, it was like, you know, they didn't do anything, you know. But again, with Jacob Blake, they shot him down, you know. So again, this is just crazy times we live in. This is nothing new to see. This has been happening for decades or just hundreds of years. Now things are being taped, recorded for the audience, for the American people to see. And all I'm doing, guys, I'm just reporting the news. That's all I am, and I'm giving my opinion of how I look at it, right? And again, I really hope that he is charged to the fullest extent. I say life in prison, because he's 17. You know, he can't really get more than that. I would definitely say life in prison, you know, no possibility of parole, but I'm gonna let the justice system handle that. But the way it's looking like, they're trying to get this guy off already. You know what I mean? It's definitely gonna go to trial, and let's see what happens in due time. We'll see in about a year and a half on what happens in this trial, and we'll definitely be staying on track with that. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section about the whole disparity of race and the whole Kyle Rittenhouse, Jacob Blake shootings, and with the police, with Rustin Shesky, and just the sheriff's department in the Kenosha. They are uninformed. They look a bit lost. They don't know really what to do. They've never had this type of publicity ever, maybe within their city, in their department. So those boys, this is like a big deal for them, which is understandable. But I really want to know what you guys are thinking about the shootings, especially about this guy Kyle, man. This is just sick. This is just like he's one of those dudes that will go into a high school and shoot it up. And even his classmates have said that too. Like, they wasn't shocked by Kyle. They said, man, listen, we thought he probably would shoot up a high school or something. So it wasn't shocking to them, but it's definitely disturbing. And please, guys, like the video, share it, subscribe to my channel below, and I'm just gonna keep pumping out some great quality videos that you guys want to see, things that you want to hear, and we can have that dialogue, that conversation, you know. And man, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, man. You guys are with me from the start. This is my second month doing videos, and I'm gonna remember that. Whoever's with me from the start, I'll remember that down the line, hopefully years to come. So you guys take care. Peace and love.